in this bracket. I think
Absolutely.
Emerald 87 is definitely another one to look out for, but as far as DOSBox, I haven't really seen much at all. I just know he's been kind of tearing through this bracket with Zetterburn.
Yeah, I've heard of I've heard of Merp. I have faith in Merp, by the way,
Mhm.
but we'll get to that. I know. I think Zetter's said to win this matchup, right? Like that's what I've heard from some of my other friends. Obviously, I'm not personally familiar.
So I usually play Clarinet to Zetter, not Maypul, but I'd say it's probably even. I don't think it's winning for Maypul, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would make sense. I would imagine Maple has a little bit of an edge off stage.
Yeah. I'd say that's the big thing is that I find Maple's ledge trapping to be a lot scarier, especially because, like, Zetter is a character who, as much as recovery is really good, it is very prone to, like, rinse repeating, which is something Maple is really good at. But, yeah, on stage, it can be really hard to maneuver around Zetter and, not just randomly explode to, like, random moves from his kit.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Like, Zetter's kit up close has to be, like, much safer than Maple's. Like, I feel like he has just larger hitboxes than Maple in general. Like with Fair, F tilt, the threat of side B, whereas Maple just has a neutral B without a hitbox.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's, you know, it's tricky. I mean, they're both characters like a little bit of disjoint, but not like a ton of disjoint. It's funky. But that's the big thing is that Maple, when you're at, like, tether kill percent, I do think Maple can threaten with stuff like, you know, obviously tether nair, tether fair kind of options.
Yeah, the F tilt into fair is the big threat.
But Maple doesn't quite get access to that until, like, a later percent than Zetter is going to have access to, like, fair killing you, or, you know...
Or, like, shine up smash.
Yeah, like, just any fire strong, really. Like, they're going to kill significantly earlier. So you constantly have to be on the lookout against Zetter just to make sure, because, like, any little bit of, like, moment of weakness can completely blow up in your face.
Zetter has 1 million roads to roam.
Yeah, really. In any case,
it seems like they're getting into it.
Yeah, I believe they are.
Stage choice is going to be big in this one, because Lone is kind of infamous for being incredibly good on Harbor. So that's going to that's definitely going to come into play for the counter picks.
For sure, and worth noting, Harbor's definitely good on, or it's good for Zetter as well. Like, it's probably Zetter's one of the best characters on Harbor.
Yeah, absolutely. He really appreciates the ceiling.
In any case, Merchant's going to be our starter. Definitely an interesting choice. I can kind of see it if you know, if both players are worried about getting repeated at ledge. This is probably your best starter to go to because you're going to have an extra avenue to land on the platforms.
Yeah, I know this is a strong stage for both characters as well. Like, this is one of the stages that I would never want to take Zetter to as a starter, and that's also the case for me. So, I can imagine both of them are thriving right now. Ooh, great edge guard from Lone. Taking advantage of that first fair on stage.
Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff where I think, I feel like Lone's a player who can definitely get a little too fancy off stage for his own good at times. But it's also gonna be his saving grace as long as he's able to manage it enough to not SD.
Yeah, I think honestly it's fine if he gets a little too fancy off stage, because that's one of Maple's strong points. Like, you see Elky specifically hitting all these early edge guards, like with just drop from ledge fair, or like really aggressive fairs. So mastering the offstage play is like the key to getting strong results with Maple, in my opinion.
It's a part of the character that I think is a little trickier than just like her other advantage state options, but I can definitely agree with that. I think Nbad is especially a player like a little more obscure, but I played against him a lot. Oh my god.
No, Nbad's good.
If you want to know how to play like the most just absurd, like incomprehensible Maple, like Elkies and Nbad are the players to look at.
It's true. I think Sinbad is very good too. He only really showed his stuff at Let's Make It Miami, but I don't know what it is with the Nbad tags and Maple being good.
Real.
In any case, I think dosboxfalco is playing very good here too. Like, obviously they have the shine pressure on point, the execution, which is critical for Zetter players.
Yeah. Speaking of, trying to get the dash attack, that's not that dash attack.
Ooh. Great exploitation from the air dodge to close out the game. Very clean stuff. Now we're getting into DOSBox's counter pick. We'll see. I'd suspect a Battlefield. There's Rock Wall here maybe. Although again, I think both characters are very strong on both those stages.
That's fair.
Or we could just run it back. That's a favorite of mine. Just like, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, DOSBox counterpick to Harbor.
Alright, and that's kind of where it's coming in, right? Is that this is still a good stage for Zetterburn. Really exemplifies just the almost comical kill power that this character has.
That's if Zetter is able to touch people.
That is if Zetter, yeah, that's the big,
We are seeing the game plan.
That's the scary part.
I think every percent DOSBox gets here versus Lone is gonna count. Because it really depends who's in the lead versus who's behind. Although, I think setting the flyer there is very, very smart. Because it makes Lone take damage every time he jumps through the stage like that to blink again. So it gives him a little bit of a timer.
Right.
Interesting facet of that. Specifically the game plan.
I almost have extra credit live, and then I can pay significantly more attention.
No, that's fair. I can hold it down for now. So we see DOSBox just like kind of pressuring with the side Bs to cover the stage in hopes that Lone will come back. But Lone has made up the lead. So we're gonna see right back to the game plan. Grab ledge, throw seed, see what you can do about it. DOSBox, I feel like DOSBox, okay. Now this is a scary portion. Because this is the point where Lone can possibly get a kill if DOSBox messes up and overextends off stage. And if he gets that kill, then it might just be over. Because the current interaction back and forth between who's in the lead and who isn't, which is determining whether Lone is camping or not. If Lone gets this stuck, he doesn't want to interact anymore. Oh, yep, there it is.
Okay, so it works out, yeah. So it's always a little spooky in this situation, because you can get some really early kills off the top on the stage, but those kills off the side are way less consistent, and Maypul down strong is... I mean, honestly, down strong for both these characters is a really good way to just kind of catch people off guard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Zetter is especially just covering all that space.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Maypul's is just a very good, quick focus.
Yeah.
Ooh. Trying to hit that. Oh! Great down smash, just like we were talking about. Just covering that space when Lone is trying to jump to the stage.
Yeah. And it's just diabolical, man.
Yeah. This is Trevor's perfect game in action.
You gotta just play so smart right here, because, if you're able to catch Lone off guard, you're pretty much gonna kill him instantly.
Yeah, but it's a low percent to actually catch him off guard. And with every interaction now, Lone's just racking up more extra credit. Getting farther into the lead.
Yeah.
So even if DOSBox takes this stock, they're still going to be behind the next one. Okay, there it is. Great F smash. But waiting out that invincibility. Taking every possible opportunity to Lone can wait out the clock.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Lone's on stage. Racking up low percent. Oh, back to work.
And it's playing super slow, but this is where these kind of strategies start to backpedal, because you do rack up a little bit of percent from doing it when the opponent messes up, but you're not going to rack up nearly as much as when you mess up and you get punished for it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So Lone was in a decent position, but has barely gotten any percent this stock now that he kind of has to play the game a little bit more, or interact with Dose in a more direct manner, at least.
Yeah, I think that is the big flaw with... Oh, wow!
Okay, well,
Great
color
catch
me
there.
corrected. Because there you go, gets back into it, and now just that one opportunity was enough to find a tether up air kill. That's...
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, I think that's the big flaw with non-interaction camping, or trying to not interact. Because when your opponent, you're like playing to get back to neutral essentially. So you're essentially kind of forfeiting a lot of your advantage. Whereas your opponent is trying to squeeze out every last thing they can possibly get. So eventually the numbers game is going to tilt in your opponent's favor if you're like human and make any mistakes at all. That's why I think like the more effective style of camping is kind of the Sonic style camping, where it's not so much trying to not interact with your opponent as controlling enough space to make your opponent approach every time, and then exploiting their approach and shredding them. Oh
yeah,
my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, and that's just not going to be able to make it back.
Just an inch too far.
It's scary. I mean, the more that you can make the opponent play on your own terms, the more you're going to be in just a phenomenal position. Like...
Yeah, exactly. I would be super. Yeah, not going back to Harbor. At least it's off the table for Lone now, and they can play normally. It's going back to the starting stage.
Really interesting, because I mean, the merchant game was pretty close, I think, right? Like, that was last stock, I want to say.
Yes, it was last stock. But, no. Yeah, it was. Lone just got that, crunchy edge guard.
Right. Okay.
Hopping around, trying to approach from above. Okay, exploiting that, going past the ledge a little bit, into death for Zetter.
Oh, and there it is. The double dunks have just been instrumental for Lone in this set. I feel like... I wonder what a better way for Dose to DI this would be, because I feel like that's been the big make or break.
If you figure it out, tell me.
Yeah.
I my Maypul every time. Alright, another big advantage stage starting up for Lone. Off stage. Dangerous spot.
Oh, and there we go, going for Nares and back airs.
Yeah, ooh. DOSbox manages to escape the wall, the Maypul wall edge guard and turn it around.
Yep. Exactly what I said, is sometimes you just get a little too fancy for your own good, and it completely backfires. But,
I mean,
Lone?
I think it's still worthwhile. Like, if 75% of the time, like, you get a kill, and 25% you die, like, I'd still go for that chance. Like, the expected value though is still very good. Oh, great F smash. Reaching across the platforms on Harbor.
For sure. Not for nothing, I also think that those edge guards, it's more comfortable to go for them when you're in the lead, and Lone has been in the lead for the majority of this set. Like, yes, in theory, very few mistakes could get DOSbox back into the, or, into the lead, or like, for the first time this set, and you see right there, like, Lone just started like 80, and there's a lot of ways for Zeta to rack up that 40%, but even playing in the corner like this,
One good, like, shine bear up smash.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how DOS could like force an interaction in the corner a little better.
Yeah, it's something to workshop for sure, but they are in the lead right now.
Yeah.
Like, did rack up the percent, but Lone, you gotta be really careful to not go off stage here. Because you can get hit by a fair and die. Just like that.
Your timing was a little too perfect. I'm gonna be moving on with the 3-0. It's tough, because all those games were last stock, albeit game 2 is kind of a weird one, because Lone did, like, SD after, putting Dawson in, like, unlivable situation, but...
Yeah, it's just the suicide kill confirm.
Yeah, it really does feel like a lot of it's just Dawson able to live off stage long enough, and conversely not able to, like, force Lone off stage, because there were a handful of times when Lone just kind of corners himself. Which something you see Maypuls do often, because she's just trying to abuse her speed, like, non-stop.